So I've got the thumbs up. I can see some heads coming up, so I'm assuming people can hear me. Woohoo! Okay, so the doors are shut. There's no escaping me now. Okay, you're in here, and you're focused on me. The great thing is, Wade last night promised me that he's going to get some subtitles for the movie. So even if you don't understand a word I'm going to say here, wait for the YouTube video. That will have the full subtitles on there. So, context. So let's set the context here. So a year ago, a small team from JP Morgan turned up at fintech DevCon away up in Denver. We turned up to listen and to learn from the developers of fintech. That's what we're here for. We're here. We learned an awful lot last year. We've been learning throughout this entire year, and we've been listening, we've been learning all the way, and we're still learning. We've got so much more to do as a large bank, and that's what we're here for. So today, I'm here to share a glimpse of the AI future with JP Morgan, what I'm allowed to share. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that I'm not allowed to share from JP Morgan. So today, I'm going to talk about unlocking APIs with AI. Sounds like fun, yeah? We all excited? Woo! Yes. So who am I? So first of all, I'm a father and a husband, okay? My family feel and fuel this energy every single day, okay? That's a lot. At work, I'm head of open source for payments at JP Morgan. I'm an engineer. I love big problems, and I can't think of a bigger problem to solve than doing open source in JP Morgan. But I love it. In the community, so I founded Make It Happen, a small non-profit charity that inspires children's digital learning. It's my passion project. We've inspired 50,000 children globally, and we've worked with some of the most demanding 5-year-old product owners. As you can imagine, a 5-year-old me or a 5-year-old one of you, I want my app to look like this, okay? But we're inspiring them to become digital creators, not just consumers, because we all kind of stroll on TikTok and scroll on all these different apps. We want to show that they can become the next generation of fintech developers. And I would maybe say this photo kind of sums me up a little bit. So as you can almost see with my trainers on there, this is an end of a 5K. So dressed as a unicorn for a charity with my colleague Drew, but you can almost see the top of the other unicorn up there. And his daughter Isla, who's also got a smaller unicorn outfit on as well. We're just crossing the finish line there, and you can feel the energy. That is probably the closest you'll get to me in a picture, if it's not a selfie. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to talk about the 3 roadblocks, and I'll show you them in a second. We're going to start doing a bit of code with AI. So we're going to call Hello Balances API using AI. And then we're going to take that small Hello World application on and do an app to accept, manage, and send money, because a lot of us here do that, don't we? Yeah, a few nods. Cool, and I'll share some key takeaways and questions at the end, because everyone's always got questions about AI. Okay, so the 3 roadblocks, what are they? We all know this cycle, yeah? SDLC, we love it. So on this here, we've got 3 of the roadblocks that I'm going to talk about. 1, access to APIs, client test data, and speed to market. And this, to me, is the real goal. If we can make this wheel go faster, we're all developers here, right? Yeah. We are serving our clients better, and that's what we want to do. So, hands up, first of all, who works in a regulated environment? A few people with their hands down, oh, right. I'm scared now. So hopefully we all work in a regulated environment. And hands up, who wants their their client data leaked on ChatGPT? Yeah, no one. Okay, so we all want to protect our data. So the 3 roadblocks here, so access to APIs. A lot of the work we do with JP Morgan is internal only. We've got to protect our clients first. Everything we do is to protect and to serve our clients. So we need to control access to some of our APIs. But what we can do is we can start to open source our APIs. We can put them out there, not putting our client data out there, but putting our APIs to make them accessible by developers here, because that's the key goal. And you've maybe seen a big shiny box outside where we're talking about our payments developer portal. Jack Henry, Moov, others, they've got so many different portals out there you can use, but we're all starting to do the same thing. We're exposing our APIs so that you can integrate easily with them. So the client test data, okay. We don't want to send all our client information out there and start to use it, and we don't want to give it to ChatGPT. So what we're going to do, and what I'll show you via my 2 kind of use cases here, is we're going to use AI to generate our test data, okay? It's good at text, it can go and come up with some brilliant ideas, and there may be a few unicorns in there as well. And overall, we want to speed up that time to market. So we want to accelerate that SDLC with AI. And that's the 2 examples I'm going to show you next. Okay, so the first example, let's put that circle in context with what we're doing with that Hello Balances API. We all like doing Hello World straight away. This one's nice and simple. Okay, so the simplest API I can think of using AI. So let's see. Right, so in all these examples, we're going to be talking to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I chose that because it was kind of my first date, really. It could have been Bard or something else, but I chose ChatGPT and I quite like it. And I want to do all of this fast to see if we can get that cycle going fast. So, okay, so I'm the unicorn, as you can maybe imagine, not inflated, but just that's me asking the question. And ChatGPT will be the ChatGPT sign. Okay, so can you write code to call an API? And we're asking ChatGPT that. Certainly, it's nice and friendly already. I can help you write code to call an API. And please, can you give me more context? Okay, so it's looking for context right away. We are guiding ChatGPT to do what we want it to do. Yep, and so I'm being very vague as usual. I'll be a kind of more of a typical product owner. I'll be very vague and just ask for things. So I'm saying any API using Python. And what's it got? Okay, so that's taken us, 30 seconds, and we've got some code here. We've got a URL, we've got a request, we've got a response, and we've got some JSON coming back. That's fast, okay? And it's in Python. Python, I'm more Java, but we use Python here just to take me out of my comfort zone. You'll notice straight away the URL, it's pointing into the middle of nowhere. That's not really any use to what we want to do here. It's not balances and it's not hello. Okay, so let's call on to something real. So again, picking on JP Morgan, apologies. We can pick on anyone really. We're going to try and hit a kind of mock payments endpoint that JP Morgan provides here. So let's basically ask ChatGPT to change that for us because I don't want to write the code. I'll be lazy. Yay, it's done it. Okay, so we're trying to hit an endpoint here. Let's see if it's going to be successful or not. Okay, so we've got the code. We've got everything looks okay. Let's run it. Did it work? No, it didn't work. So we've got a HTTP connection error. We've not done any onboarding, and if JP Morgan or any kind of payment service provider gives you instant access to their environments without even knowing who you are, the next thing they're going to go after is your client test data. So I've not done any onboarding. So for the purpose of this demo, so what we're going to do is we are going to start creating a mock API server in Python so that we can test this all locally and we can go around that cycle nice and fast, go through our SDLC nice and fast, and go and start to create this locally and create some examples using this. So we'll ask ChatGPT to write some code for a mock API server, again in Python. And it's done it. I mean, that was literally one prompt that we got there. It's using Flask. It's got some mock data in there, and it's got a route. So basically, it's got everything that we need already to go and create this mock API server. You'll notice something on there, but what we're trying to do here, we're trying to create a balances API and a balances use case. What we've got here is we've got John Doe and James and Jane Smith, typical names that we like to use in all our test data. It's not really doing balances, is it? It's just doing users. Okay, so let's see if we can get it to change. So I'm just going to then ask it to go and change this to be an API for account balances. So again, very vague statements that I'm giving it here, just enough context to move it forward. And what's it doing now? Okay, so we've got some mock data in there that's got some accounts and some balances. We've got something, the API route at the bottom there looks more like a proper balances endpoint. It's looking a little bit better. A few nods, yeah. Okay, so let's see if this one is going to work. Did it work? It did. If you ignore the warning in the middle, what that is saying is this is a development server. Do not release this to production. Yeah, we're not going to ship this to production, I hope. So that's there. That's live. We've got the Python running away there. All looking good. Did it work? And, well, not really. So if we look at the kind of payload that's coming back from there, and again, you'll see it is local, so we're not trying to mask anything here at all. We're using local mock test data. We've got account numbers and balances, but it doesn't really match what we normally do. It's far too simple even for this demo. So let's take AI and take it on to the next step. So let's get AI to see if it can help create a mock server based on the OAS specifications. We all like OAS specifications? Oh yeah. Okay, so again, picking on poor JP Morgan again, it could be anyone that you go on to, take any payment service provider you want and download their API specification, okay? We should be able to get that quickly and easily. That's what we want. We'll go and download that OAS specification. And anyone who loves YAML, hands up. Spot the developers. Good, good, good. Can you write code to create a mock API server based on an OAS spec YAML? Okay, so, and you see I'm giving it quite a lot more context now. You'll see after the colon, we've got Open API, we've got all of that data there that we've just downloaded from a developer portal. We can give that context because it's out in the public domain to ChatGPT. And what is it doing? So it's starting to extend what we had before, which is a very basic use case, and it's taking that OAS specification. You can see it's starting to open it up there, load the OAS specification. It even does nice comments, if you like comments. And then it creates that route for the API endpoint. So we've got the balance, we've got the OAS specification. Let's see if it's going to work. So there's all, just to show that it's got all the code there. Did it work? We doing a drum roll? Or are we just going to go and see? Okay. Yay, okay. We're up and we're running. Okay, so we have got as well as a kind of nice shiny unicorn, we have got a local mock server based on that OAS specification up and running. We've got all a kind of much more valid payload coming back as well. That's looking better. You can see some smiles and some excitement already. It's not just a unicorn. Okay, but that, again, that's just using static data that's returning just now. So let's get the mock API server returning some of the examples, because we like to put examples into our OAS specifications. And you'll see here, basically, we've got a very similar set of code there. But the important line here is just, see if I can use this thing. It's down around about here, where basically it's starting to interrogate the OAS specification that the payment service provider has put out there to go and grab some of that, those examples out there and return it. Okay, so we've got code. It's returning more of the examples now that we want to use and we want to build off of. So that's looking good. Okay, so I'm going to stop for a moment there because I've shown you quite a lot of interactions with ChatGPT. A lot of those are the kind of happy path ones. And yeah, in payments, everyone likes to show you the happy path and they don't always show you all the pain that goes on there or all the edge cases that happen out there. This meme hits home. Basically, previously from ChatGPT and others, you spend a couple of hours coding and a couple of hours debugging. It's a little bit of pain. ChatGPT, that's been like 2 or 3 minutes. We've generated some code there. You're probably going to spend the next 24 hours trying to debug that, put in the edge cases, and understand what is actually going on there. It's true, it hits home. 5 minutes of coding and 24 hours of debugging. Just to show you some of the other conversations that I had, and you'll notice that most of the conversations coming back from ChatGPT was apologies for the confusion, apologies for the inconvenience, no, the Python package, it's dangerous, it's not dangerous, more apologies for the confusion. These are all the interactions I've had in between those kind of happy path ones there. So up at the top, you'll see compatibility with versions, okay? We all love compatibility with version problems as a developer. It gave me a certain set of those because it was 2 years out of date and we had to work through to get the right set of compatible versions to use. There's conflicting dependencies, so it starts to fix some of the dependencies that it's got and it's suggested for me to use. I've seen it's dangerous. I'm not a Python developer, but it's dangerous sounds like something that could be quite dangerous. So I'm asking ChatGPT, is that dangerous? It's telling me it's not, and I'm kind of trusting ChatGPT here. There's some like constructor arguments that are looking a bit wrong there as well. So there is that degree of pain that happens all throughout of that. And they add to what we do, it's debugging. Okay, so let's take a step back and go, what is the easiest way to create a stateful mock server for a given OAS specification instead of all of that? Okay, we're kind of redefining the problem here. And guess what? ChatGPT has got an answer for that. So one of the easiest ways to create that is using Prism. And Prism is really nice. It's a node package that you can use. It's fantastic. It takes it, and we can do it from Stoplight. They've open sourced it. And ChatGPT is able to provide step-by-step what you need to do to run that. Okay, so let's see if this is going to run. There's a lot of success on there. And you see up at the top there, use this lovely pointer, the Prism mock OS specification YAML. One line. Okay, so install the package on one line as opposed to all that code you've seen before. And it works. One line versus lots of iterations there, much better, okay? And let's not stop there, okay? Basically, I'm a visual person, as you can tell maybe by the hat and by the unicorns. So let's create a simple UI to display these account balances. So I'm asking ChatGPT again for more and more and more. Yay, stunning, yeah? Sort of thing where we want to ship to our clients, but maybe not. Okay, so we've got the details. It's given us a way of building out a simple HTML and displaying some of the data we're getting back from our APIs. Okay, so let's start getting it, because one of those roadblocks was basically, can you get it to generate some test data for you? So basically, create it net new outside of the bank. Okay, so can you change the test data bank names to be inspirational unicorn names? And there might be a few inspirational unicorn banks out there, so apologies if I go over the top of those. It's not my intent. Please also change the account name to be an inspirational Highland Cow name. So a Highland Cow is basically a Highland cow, so a cow, but from Scotland. It's hairy, and you might see a few representations next. And then I'm asking ChatGPT to also make that index.html a little bit more pretty. So again, vague statements, but enough context to go and drive ChatGPT and AI to do something. And then I'm also adding it to add a logo on there because we like nice, shiny logos. Woohoo! So we have now got our Highland unicorn cows. And I can teach you all how to pronounce that later on if you want. We have got the bank is called Sparking Dreams. I keep on thinking it's Sparkling Dreams. That seems a little bit better for a unicorn. But Sparking Dreams Bank 1. The account name is Whiskers McFluffy. Okay. And the good thing is, all of this fits in with the kind of chief sponsor for this thing. We're moving money. Move. I go back to slide 1. I'm a father first, so I'm allowed dad jokes. Okay, so let's move on. Right, so let's go and take that simple use case and extend it up to an app to accept, manage, and send money. Okay, something a bit more complex. Again, going back to that first slide, I'm a father and a husband. Children always want money. Yeah. So I'm going to create a pocket money app here. So the capabilities I want, and we're going to use AI to create all of this. We want mum and dad to be able to pay through the app using the online payments and balances and global payments APIs. We can accept, manage, and send money. And then we can push funds to a card, so we can give our lovely children a card that they can use, that they want to use, and then they can go and spend their money in a very controlled way. Okay, so we're going to try and go through this entire flow here, using AI to help us to go and create this use case. Sound like fun? Oh yeah. Okay, so you'll notice here I start to give it a bit more information because we're starting to create something a little bit more complex. Okay, so I want to create a website with React. I like React. That has a side nav bar, 2 pages, one called Parent Pay and one called Child Account. Can you write the code to create this simple container app? That's a good bit of context, yeah? Yeah, instantly. ChatGPT is helping this unicorn start to do that. It tells me what to do, to go into the terminal, open up the command prompt, navigate to the desired location, create React app, and do all this stuff. And you'll see already in that one simple prompt, it gives me the code as well. Okay, so I've already got the code in my hands here. And you'll notice if anyone knows and loves React, we've got the parent pay, we've got the child account, we've got 2 different routes in there. So it's all like one single app just now, but it demonstrates what we can do here. All the React that I need here. Does it work? It does. You'll see we're on a different port, but we're still on localhost talking to our mock API servers here. We've got the Pocket Money app, we've got the parent pay page and a child account page. We're starting to build up quite a complex use case here quite quickly. So we'll go back to any payment service provider and get a lot of the OAS specifications so we can add in those different pieces of functionalities, from global payments to transaction details to account balances, all the things that we need to make this app functional. I'll have a lot of conversations with ChatGPT. So we're using Stoplight Prism to set up that mock API server, like what we did in the Hello Balances there. I'm also asking it to make sure we can click pay, we can initiate payments, we can check balances, we can make the parent pay better styled, because I like a styled page. We've got Axios calling onto the mock server, so we're starting to give it quite a lot of context here. Using Material UI, we want to be able to send amount from and to accounts. We're giving it more and more context here. Quite a lot of context. And here's what we get. So after that conversation with ChatGPT, we're able to get this out here. It's a nice, simple parent pay page. So we can see which parent pays. In my household, it's normally me that pays, but each household is different. Which child receives, the amount, and then go and pay that child. And you'll see mum and dad has got some transaction history on there that we're getting back from these APIs. We've got money going from mum to Anna. We've got money going from dad to Luke. We can see all that, and it's live and it's ready. We can make that quite tangible. What does the child get? So the child gets a simple page that we could put onto a mobile phone or a tablet, where they can get the balance, because they want to know how much money they've got, and they always want more. They can see all the kind of recent transactions, like a toy purchase, or maybe their allowance coming back in. They can also see if they spent money on movie tickets, etc. It doesn't look great just now, but does it? Would you sign up to this? No? All right, okay, you're right, you wouldn't. So we're going to style it, and we're going to go after the Highland coup, but again, we're going to use some of the AI technologies out there and have a little bit of fun. Has anyone used Playground AI? No? Right, so AI image generation It's a lot of fun. But like, remember the last time when we said like we're iterating quite a lot and we're getting things wrong? There's a lot of that. So basically, in Playground AI, you can ask AI to generate you a Highland coo, so a cow with hair. And as you can see, it's quite good fun. So there's some very scary looking images there. They would maybe not inspire children to use that app to go and like take money and spend money and everything. Like the one in the top left is probably about the scariest Highland cow I could imagine seeing. I would not like to see that in a dark night anywhere at all. It's a little bit scary, but then you can see to what, like, as I'm prompting Playground AI to do a little bit more, it's getting closer to what we want. And you can see the one in the bottom right is getting closer to somewhere that looks a bit more friendly. Again, I'm driving the AI here. And what do we come out with? Okay, so we end up with a nice, happy, not scary Highland coo. We've got a few more colors in there. We've got the concept of what that card could look like. We've did it. We've went and we've created an app that basically can accept, manage, and send payments. We've even got some potential visuals there that we can go and inspire children to take, this push the card with them. It's not perfect, and some of my children might not want to use that, but it's there, and we've done it in the space of like 5 or 10 minutes. So what are some of the key takeaways here? So you see that we've removed some of those blockers with AI. We've got that cycle going faster. We've got OpenAPI specs out there that we can go and download, and we can generate some client test data, even if it's like unicorns and Highland cows. We have created we've created 2 fully functional mock use cases, the Hello Balances and the Pocket Money app. And we've used AI to kind of guide and apply ourselves quite creatively. Like we're having a bit of fun here, but we're creating something that's real. And that, personally, I think this is a glimpse of the AI future. We're starting to show you what JP Morgan are doing here with AI, what we can talk about here, but there's more happening out there that we can't quite talk about yet. So again, going back to this, we went all the way through here. We had problems with access to APIs, problems with client test data, problems with speed to market. And we went through and we solved each of them. And we've done it in a very short period of time. With AI, there's always questions. There's always questions. And I want to share some of them with you here as well. With ChatGPT, who owns the conversation? Is it ChatGPT? Is it the person? What if that leaks? So if I'm going on there properly as JP Morgan and talking about this child account app, am I leaking the fact that this new product is coming? Can someone access that data? It's a new conversation to be had. How do we use this ethically in fintech? It's always important to me to think about ethics when we come to financial technology. What is the best way to secure our own data? So Anshu in the Skyflow presentation talked about multiple different ways of doing that. Having your own models or encrypting the data and tokenizing the data before you send it up. What I've kind of shown here today is potentially you can use AI to generate something outside of that and try and separate some of that data. But there's quite a lot of questions that we've got here. And the one that I think a lot of people are still asking is that, will AI replace me? We're all thinking about it. I would say good luck replacing me, but I think there's a lot of people thinking that. Personally, I'm not going to want to leave you with too many questions. I want to leave you with some hope. I created this simple image with AI. If you look at it closely, the people in there, they freak out a little bit. Because if you look at the arms, there's something funny going on with the arms. There's a few little things that make you think, oh, this doesn't feel quite right. It's meant to represent where I want us to be and maybe a little bit of where we are just now. We're looking out to the possibilities of AI and what AI can offer us. We've got a lot of questions. We've got a lot of legal and compliance questions. There's a lot of questions out there. But I think just like the 10x developer, I actually think AI could unlock 10x humanity. I think it's going to unleash our creative minds and thoughts to the biggest problems and opportunities humanity has. And I don't I don't think we're going to be needing to solve all the mundane tasks all over again. I'm hoping that's going to be the big thing that we do. So I'll stop and I'll thank you all. Hopefully that was fun. I do have one ask for you. If you feel comfortable, would you like to stand up and we can do an Oscar-style selfie from here with everyone coming up, okay? So I'm going to ask you all to stand up. Yeah, and come on down, don't worry, I don't bite, so come on as close as you can and that you feel comfortable doing so. If you all stand out here, I'll stand here and we'll try and get a picture, okay? This is like one of these kind of team bonding sessions, isn't it? Oh yeah, this is going to work. Cool. I'll say cheese or say Highland Coo. Superb. Thank you all so much, okay?